The history of Tim Hortons' first ever store. Hi guys, how's it going? My name is AussieTash. I've recently done a video learning about Tim Horton, the man and the hockey player, and the tragedy surrounding his death. Today we are going to be watching and reacting to a video on the first ever Tim Hortons. Very excited for this one. But before we do, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. That would really help me out. Okay, the history behind Tim Hortons' first ever store. Let's jump into it.
New York is the Big Apple, all right, but Hamilton is the Big Donut. Honey glaze, apple fritters, banana cream, we love them all. And no one flogs more donuts in this city than Tim Hortons. It all started right here, the corner of Ottawa North and Dunsmuir, a quarter century ago. Hockey star Tim Horton teamed up with ex-Hamilton cop Ron Joyce and turned the garage into the Tim Horton Donut Drive-In. 5 years later, the donut dynasty had hit 10 with the opening of a new store in St. Catharines. Strangely, though Tim Horton was a Maple Leaf then, there was not yet a single store in Toronto. But not so strange. We all know that Toronto is a land of fern bars and quiche. Even now, with more than 400 Tim Hortons in Canada and the United States, Greater Hogtown has just 8 stores.
So yes, Tim Horton, from what I can remember, he was a Maple Leafs fan. He took them to 3 Stanley Cups, but he was playing for Buffalo at the time that he opened the first Tim Hortons.
Hamilton and Burbs have 30 Tim Hortons. We'll puzzle over this city's affair with deep-fried dough later, but now, let's step inside. You'll find no bronze plaque on the wall yet to say the empire started here, but this is the bag they used back then. Horton with his trademark brush cut, banging off 3 big plain cake donuts. And here's the opening promo from The Spectator, May 15th, 1964. A modest ad for a modest shop. In fact, this is the smallest in the chain, but it still has counter service and many new ones don't. The veteran waitress here is Florence, whose donut duty began 15 years ago. Now, why did you want a job in a Tim Hortons?
I didn't want, well, I hadn't worked for 20 years.
Right.
And I figured, well, why shouldn't I? So,
Well, I mean, there are lots of jobs out there. Why Tim Hortons, though?
well, my son saw this ad in the paper and
Okay.
he says, come on, Mom, let's go.
Okay.
So we did.
Okay. So you started then. Do you remember how much a donut was back then?
I don't know whether it was 15 cents or 25. I can't remember. I know a coffee and a donut, I think, was 50 cents.
Wow, a coffee and a donut back in the day was 50 cents. Mate, I reckon now, in Australia, you pay about $6.50 for a decent coffee and a donut. At least. I just love the story behind Tim Hortons. Man, awesome hockey player, loved his donuts. That's cool.
And a coffee and a donut now is...
What, a coffee and a donut is $1, wait a minute. 70 cents for a coffee, $1.30.
$1.30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And dozen donuts were $1.65. Now they're $4.25.
Ooh. Okay.
I think a dozen donuts in Australia at the moment probably cost you about $13. So you're paying more than $1 a donut.
Okay. What donuts move best? What kind?
Apple fritters go good. Boston cream go good.
Now, what's the hard part of your job?
I don't find anything hard. I like this job. I like the people here, and I like my job. That's why I stay so long.
Well, what is it about that you like about?
I like everything.
Yeah.
I really do. I like my job.
Now.
I mean, some people are nice and some people are not, but the
Yeah.
majority of the people in this store are very nice.
It's Stavre, and tell me where you're from, Stavre.
I am from Yugoslavia, Macedonian province.
Okay. When did you come to Canada?
I come in 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago?
Yes.
How many times you come since?
But every day, one time.
Every day.
But sometime every day, but sometime no. If
Yeah.
I'm busy home, some.
Okay. Now, where do you live now?
Now I living in the mountain.
So,
No.
okay, there are Tim Hortons up on the mountain. What are you doing down here?
I come in here because I have friends.
That first store is now owned by ex-Ticat Dave Sauve. In fact, some think the Horton ownership ranks are all old athletes and cops. Not so. Meet high-octane Rita Cruz, owner of 3 franchises. You get started. You were a person on your own?
A person on my own, single mother, looking for something more to do, and that's what I ended up doing. I went to Tim Horton Training Center, which is donut school.
Donut school, donut college?
Donut college.
Specifically, tell me specifics of what you did at donut
At
college.
donut college,
Yeah.
12 weeks of straight night shift. 6 weeks of straight donut baking, 80 pounds of donuts a night. And you have to bear in mind, 80 pounds of...
How many donuts is that?
Probably about 5,000.
How do muffins...
Did she say she went to a donut college? For 12 weeks of a night time, she learnt how to bake donuts at a donut college. I have never, ever heard of that. Do you have a Pacific college of a night time that you go to just to make donuts? In Australia, we've got a few donut franchises. Donut King, Wendy's, not the same Wendy's in America, a different Wendy's. Our Wendy's basically just does donuts and ice creams. These sort of franchises take on juniors, so I guess they just make donuts with little donut machines and stuff like that. But yeah, a donut college. That's really, really cool. Let me know if they still exist.
Versus donuts, how do they stack up?
Well, muffins probably are taking the lead, and that's because everybody is becoming far more health conscious in the 90s. And I find that muffins in my 3 locations are definitely surpassing donuts.
You're selling more muffins?
I'm selling more muffins, especially the oat bran and whole wheat carrot, things like that. More muffins.
You're going to have to change the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are they coming here, and why are donuts big in Hamilton?
In Hamilton, I think that donuts are big because it's a reasonable, inexpensive way to go out and for the average family or average person to go out and have entertainment.
It's entertainment to sit down
Sure,
and have
for the regular customers, yeah, because they all meet their friends. They come in and hi Joe, hi Sam, you know, and everybody meets everybody. And what happens is one person might be a regular by themselves, and another person over here might be a regular by their self. And the 2 of them meet, and now they've got a new friendship. And I think we've always been called the friend along the way. And this store was originally built by Mr. Joyce, Ron Joyce, who owns Tim Donut, and Tim Horton himself. They actually, when I say originally built by them, I mean that they actually built the store. They dug the trenches and they put the blocks together, and they dug the store. And one time at a convention, Mr. Joyce told a funny story about how him and Tim were down there and they were, you know, up to their elbows in cement and blocks and everything, and the teacher from across the road was taking the students on an outing, and they were just little students, and there was Mr. Joyce and Tim Horton building the actual store, and she stopped at the children and she said, "See, children, if you don't keep up your marks in school, you're going to end up digging ditches just like these men."
Little do they know that that man was actually professional hockey player Tim Horton, building a Tim Hortons store. That is a really cool story. This Tim Horton, what a legend. Not only was he one of the greatest hockey players of all time, he was a builder, he was a business owner, and he sounded like he was just an all-around great family guy who loved his donuts, loved his coffee, and just wanted to build something really, really special. And obviously he did. Tim Hortons. Do you go there every day? Do you get a double-double? How much does it cost these days to buy a double-double and a donut from a Tim Hortons? Like I said, in Australia, if you want to go to one of our little coffee franchises, coffee donut franchises, say Donut King, to get just a plain cinnamon donut and a coffee, you'll probably pay $5, $6, which is quite steep, really. We have Krispy Kremes here in Australia, but only at 7-Elevens. Don't know if you have the 7-Elevens there. You know, the convenience stores where you fill up your car with petrol or gas. Tim Hortons, don't have them in Australia. The franchise hasn't come over here. Probably won't. If it's anything like Starbucks, then don't bother, because Starbucks come here, didn't do very well at all, failed. But would love to try something from Tim Hortons. I might go online, go on Amazon, see if I can get some ground coffee beans or something, buy a hat, see how we go. So I've learned about Tim Hortons, the franchise, the hockey player, and the man himself. Really sad how he left us. Really sad how he left his fans behind, his family behind. That was pretty hard to watch. Alright, that was the video for today. Interesting. Love seeing the old archive footage. If you liked it, smash the like button, leave a comment, and remember to subscribe. That would help me out. Cheers from down under. Take care. Bye.